Hi, Steve here, Whiskey Congress. Just wanted to jump in, get a little FaceTime with the fans and the people following the show. Whiskey Congress, just to talk a little bit about something that I don't know if we're going to get to on the show, but I wanted to make sure that I addressed at least. And that's Donald Trump's tweet regarding calling Kim Jong Un short and fat. I thought it was interesting. His exact tweet was, "Why would Kim Jong Un insult me by calling me old when I would never call him short and fat? Oh well, I try so hard to be his friend, and maybe someday that will happen." One, Donald, who cares? Why the hell do you want to be friends with this guy? You obviously have no respect for him. You call him Rocket Man, Little Rocket Man. So why does his friendship matter? And why are you putting so much energy into it? Why? I mean, a tweet, while people will say that's not a lot of energy, in my mind, just sending a tweet about this guy, to me, is too much energy to expend. And there's also, the fact that he may have a nuclear weapon. We have nuclear weapons, and he's clearly not stable. And you could offset a nuclear war by getting into a name calling, pissing contest with a dictator from a strange country that's not too far off of our borders. So I guess this is more of just kind of a plea with Donald Trump to get control of your Twitter, get control of your emotions. Come on, Donald. Now I know that's a lot to ask, and a lot of people have been asking it, and so it's falling on deaf ears. But I think it's worth it to throw it out there because you never know. Maybe it might get to him. You know, I joke about that somewhat, but I mean it is bothersome. Why is our president putting any thought into what he's being called by really anybody? As the president of the United States, you're going to have your critics. You know, right out in front or in the shadows, and you have to be able to live with that and deal with it. Obviously, we know Donald Trump does not have thick skin; he's got very thin skin. We know that his ego is very big. We know that he really reacts well to praise and reacts poorly to criticism. But you would just hope at some point in time that he can just kind of let some shit go. But he's proven that he can't. And here's another example of it. Now, is this worth a 24-hour news cycle? No. Is it worth me and Jim talking about on our show? Probably not. But I did want to, get it out there in the open. And so we have YouTube. Other stuff that's upcoming that will be on the show. We're going to talk more about Roy Moore. If you listened to our show last week, well, I guess technically it's this week, as today is the 14th of November. And so, but if you listen to our show that probably would have dropped today, I said that there was more coming with Roy Moore, and it came today. And so we're going to talk about that on the show, and just overall implications, how, affiliating oneself with Roy Moore as a conservative, while there was an argument to be made that, you push through this sort of thing, it's starting to get uglier for him. And so we're starting to see some people that were strongly by his side starting to waver. I don't know what that means for the voting booth. I don't know what that means for that Senate seat, but we shall see. We're also going to talk some Keurig smashing, people smashing their Keurig over outrage over Sean Hannity and his interview with Roy Moore. Jim and I are going to kind of talk about that. Probably a lighter conversation, all things considered, but we'll still definitely give it some talking time. And obviously, the big one that we can't miss is Colin Kaepernick being named GQ Citizen of the Year. That has some obvious reactions coming out of all sides. And so we'll discuss the award, we'll discuss, the conservative and progressive reaction to it, and then kind of maybe give our own opinions on what we think about it. And then also kind of connected to that, there's a rapper by the name of Meek Mill who was arrested. He got 2 to 4 years for a violation of his probation. And we'll talk about kind of the whole situation, try to frame it for you in the best way you can so you can kind of make your own objective opinion about what happened. I know I have mine, Jim will have his, but it's definitely worth kind of digging into and looking at and kind of comparison to the broader conversation about the criminal justice system, and definitely how it ties to Colin Kaepernick since he came out in support of the rapper. And just to hear Jim in more awkward hip hop conversations that, other than NWA, he knows very little about. So, thanks for watching. Hopefully, you check out the show. You can find us on any platform that you find a podcast, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Podomatic, so on and so forth. Actually, I don't think we're on Podomatic, but pretty much anywhere where you're getting your podcast from, you can find us. You can interact with us on social media, at Whiskey Congress on Twitter, at Whiskey Congress on Instagram, www.whiskeycongress.com. Go there, leave a comment, write a review. Same thing with iTunes, write a review, leave a comment, give us a rating, and just interact with us any way that you can or any way that you see fit. You can also email me, Steve at whiskeycongress.com. Jim is Jim at whiskeycongress.com. And thanks for listening, and stay vigilant.